On today's show, we hear original poetry from Sam Orelli, Sheila Lynch Bentinen, and John Holgerson, and get a Just the Facts update on Kingston town government on the local scene.
And if you're looking to learn or just have some fun, we'll also be talking about classes, programs, and upcoming things to do in Plymouth, Pembroke, Kingston, and Duxbury.
We're glad you're here. Let's get started.
The Pembroke Public Library's new monthly Monday board game night is for you if you've been feeling a little bored or you don't have a clue what to do about it. On Monday, September 15th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., join other game lovers in the meeting room to play board games from the library's collection, or feel free to BYOB, bring your own board game. All ages are welcome. Children under 7 must be accompanied by a parent or guardian.
Starting Tuesday, September 9th, Stephen Kaufman, PhD, will be at the Plymouth Center for Active Living to lead Mysteries of the Ancient World, a 4-part course where archaeology, anthropology, and cultural studies converge for a fascinating dig into the myths, legends, and evidence associated with well-known mysteries of the ancient world. Dr. Kaufman will use a variety of visual aids and texts to take you on a journey exploring the boundaries between fact and fiction in the theories of mysterious creatures and places like Bigfoot, the lost city of Atlantis, Stonehenge, and the Moai statues of Easter Island. The Mysteries of the Ancient World series will take place on September 9th, 16th, and 30th, wrapping with the final class on October 7th and run from 2 to 3:30 p.m. Registration is required.
Next is Sam Orelli in a reading of his original work.
And next up, we also have a new member, Sam Orelli. Welcome.
Thank you. Elaine, as a puzzler myself, I feel for you. My name is Sam Orelli, and I don't yet consider myself a poet. However, recently, my book, On the Edge of Knowing, was accepted for publication, so I'm currently working with a publisher. And so I feel more like a poet now, and I want to read 3 poems from that collection. And these poems came about during a very difficult time, and it's about finding your way, belonging, and finding hope in the small things in life. First one is Lost in the Woods. The great American beach looms, its autumn leaves scattered below. The scaly cones of the eastern white pines lie spent among broken twigs. The crunch beneath my feet fills the quiet. No one travels here but the deer, the squirrel, the wood thrush singing. Fresh scrapes mark the fissured tulip bark. The black bear speaking in a tongue only the wild remembers. My claws are mute, my voice without melody. The wind carries the forest chatter, creaking branches, tumbling leaves, the aging white birch, papery skin unfolding, leans close and whispers, "Where are you going?" I've roamed the poplars and spruces, brushed the white-tailed stags graze, heard the mourning dove coo, sought the great horned owl by night, yet these woods grow strange to me. In the distance, a brook's rush threads through roots and worn stone, its babble a steady hand, guiding me toward open waters, where the silt of the world drifts on. This next poem is called The Indifference of Snow. Written after spending time feeding the birds after a snowstorm. I cannot tell if the birds are thankful, if they sense it is I who tends their hunger. breaking the snow silence with a shovel, scattering seeds on the gentler ground, beyond the ordered feeding, beyond the ordered offering of the feeder. Does it matter if they know? Would their blindness to my gift reshape the curve of my hand, diminish the sweep of my will? They are creatures of instinct, drawn to the bare, stark truth of survival. The snow falls still, indifferent, answering nothing. And yet, my hand returns to the seed, my heart to the quiet work of giving. And the last poem, which was recently published in Procetrix, the magazine, is called Even Now the Light. Listen, the earth still breathes beneath our hurried steps, its ancient pulse humming in the roots of trees, in the hush between waves. But we do not hear it. We walk with our heads bent, hands full of loss, as night folds itself over the fields, as the wind moves through the hollowed out reeds. Even the moon turns away. But not all is lost. Look, how the morning, soft as a petal, spills light into the empty spaces. How the hermit thrush lifts its song, a note of gold against the fading dark. Spring comes anyway. And what is the sun, if not the hand of mercy? What is the wind, if not the voice calling us home? Even now, the earth begins again. Even now, there is light enough to find our way. Thank you.
Head to Mayflower Brewing Company on Saturday, September 20th for New England Plant Expo's Botanicals and Brews, a fun family and dog-friendly event where you can drink some brews and boost up your plant shelves to bountiful levels, shopping for exotic and rare plants from a variety of vendors. And if your green thumb is non-existent, there will be artisans and crafters selling beautiful botanical-themed works you can take home and enjoy without having to worry if you're over or underwatering them. Food trucks will roll up to offer delicious deals as well. The New England Plant Expo is from 12 to 5 p.m. and is free to attend.
Are you hot for wheels? The annual Driver's Edge Truck and Auto Show returns on Saturday, September 13th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The entry fee to show is only $20, but if you just want to come and check out these really cool cars and trucks, it is free to get in. There will be food and raffles to try your luck at winning prizes. The best part? This year's Driver's Edge is raising money for Lizzie's Ladybugs. Lizzie is an amazing 11-year-old who was diagnosed with collagen 6 muscular dystrophy 3 years ago. And this event will help make her life a little easier by raising money for the things she needs, as well as for other families going through situations like Lizzie's. The 8th annual Driver's Edge Truck and Auto Show will take place at 88 Camelot Drive, Suite 26 in Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Dave Antoine is here with a Just the Facts update on Kingston town government on the local scene.
After 4 years, Kingston Town Administrator Keith Hickey is leaving 26 Evergreen Street for a new role as Town Administrator in the South Coastal town of Fairhaven. Thus, the main agenda item on the special August 5th Board of Selectmen meeting was seeking the next candidate for Kingston Town Administrator. Next steps were the main discussion, such as looking at the current administrator contract with a 90-day period where Keith remains employed. This led to either finding an interim or permanent replacement for Keith in the meanwhile, a move that Mr. Hickey asked the board to consider. It's a discussion that Chair Eric Crone felt shouldn't be rushed and advised locating interim replacement in the meanwhile. Vice Chair Kim Pembroke discussed the thought process behind this with the possibility of hiring a search firm, one that Mr. Crone didn't support due to the financial situation of the town currently. The chair considered looking at the legwork that towns like Fairhaven had set as a potential blueprint for how search will move forward. Wanting to be financially prudent, the chair felt that the town was best to keep the search in-house to find the next candidate for town administrator. With much institutional knowledge, member Carl Pike floated the possibility of working with Keith in a capacity where they expedite the process and release him earlier, with a potential October target date. Carl also echoed the need to find an acting administrator in the meanwhile. Given the services of hiring a search firm could cost $20,000, Carl felt that the town should be able to find it within a $50 million budget. The chairman agreed with Carl's sentiments, believing that it's possible for the board to find the money for the hiring of a search firm, but with optics in mind, and to be financially prudent. With October town meeting on the horizon, Keith Hickey provided his input, highlighting his work with the town and school staff to provide a snapshot of where they are and what to plan for in the future. Much of this leading into an upcoming September joint meeting with the Select Board, Finance, and School Committees. Carl Pike expanded his views on a pro tem administrator, given the need to outline a process and timeline. Vice Chair Kim Pembroke cited the work of a search firm back in 2020 when they were looking to fill the role, revisiting what kinds of changes they should bring to this new search, based on the input of the community and town staff. All of this right on down to the last punctuation mark. Keith Hickey asserted that the Tuesday department head meetings that he holds with staff may be an ample opportunity for the board to solicit feedback, a suggestion that will be carried out in the near future. For a search and decision that will take months, the board will update the town administrator job description and develop a process for seeking an interim administrator. Eric mentioned an earlier discussion that he had with town council, identifying what kind of applicant is right for a provisional role. The board has discussed the various hypotheticals that may emerge, depending on what kind of candidate they have, the legal considerations, and what the board will be able to determine during the search. The board was in agreement to begin their own search committee in the near future. This has been your Kingston Government Access on the local scene.
Keeping Parting Ways' legacy alive is the second part of a monument in the making, Plymouth's Parting Ways, a three-part lecture series presented by Dr. Robert Gomes. The series is based on his Harvard University academic paper and will highlight personal connections to Parting Ways, community engagement, and historic preservation ideas around this important site. Parting Ways Cemetery is the site of one of New England's earliest independent African-American communities, as well as the burial site for 4 African-American Revolutionary War veterans. Dr. Gomes helped to found the Parting Ways nonprofit organization in the 1970s to unearth, bring a light, and preserve this place of great significance in American Revolutionary history. This hour-long talk starts at 6:30 p.m. in the Phalo Room at the Plymouth Public Library. Registration is not required.
Fiddle, guitar, banjo, bouzouki, button accordion, washtub bass, harmonica. The Moonbellies concert on Friday, September 19th at the Plymouth Public Library promises to showcase a menagerie of rootsy folk instruments and percussive fun. The Moonbellies bring the hootenanny with a tuneful mix of originals, Americana, old-time standards, Cajun, and Irish music. This show is for music lovers of all ages and begins at 4 p.m. in the Phalo Room.
Here's John Holgerson in a reading of his original work.
And next up, we have John Holgerson.
I believe that if you are involved in the arts, whether you are an artist, a writer, a poet, an actor, a singer, a songwriter, if you're involved in the arts, there are times when you are called upon to exercise a responsibility to speak out when something that you feel is worth speaking out about has a value. And our democracy has contracted cancer. It's a real slow cancer. It starts with the most vulnerable in our society and spreads. And if you think that we are all sitting here and somehow are going to be privileged to avoid it touching us, I believe you would be mistaken. So I am going to take this opportunity to utilize the minimal gift that I have to read 2 poems. One is a dystopian poem that hasn't happened yet, but we have 3.5 years left of what appears to be, like I said, a very slow-moving cancer through our society and culture. John Kennedy said, "When power corrupts, poetry cleanses." Well, what happens when the corrupting power realizes that and decides we have to eliminate poetry? How poetry dies. The epigraph is what I just said: when power corrupts, poetry cleanses. John F. Kennedy. Like a Dickens Christmas ghost, they came shortly after midnight. She and I were asleep in bed, our backs to each other, a mutual angry end to a grammatical argument. The small round tip of a gun barrel kissed my left ear like a cold raindrop. "We are here for the verse," a voice said. I wanted to turn and look at her. I felt her stiffen, clench, then tremble violently. A different voice said, "Get up." I tried to rise, and the first voice said, "Not you." I fell back on the soda-soaked sheets, the shuffle of her gossamer gown mixed with sobs. I did not move until sunlight slanted through the window's Venetian blind. I searched for her first. It was as if she'd never been here. A slight scent of Pomona perfume fading from her pillow. All the poetry books with their universal connections of humanity were gone, declared treasonous by the government, ordered to be seized and destroyed. And when present, even the muse. As I said, that was an Orwellian look into a possible future. This is more a report on current events. I read a poem called Warning by the late Canadian poet Leonard Cohen, and it inspired me to write this poem, which is also called Warning. If your neighbor disappears, oh, if your neighbor disappears, the Hispanic man from Venezuela who helped you paint your house, or the young woman who babysat your children dressed proudly in that rainbow-colored blouse. If your neighbor disappears, oh, if your neighbor disappears, don't ask what happened to the multi-tatted black man who lived on your block, or the foreign college student with whom you like to talk. Beware of the men wearing balaclavas who cruise our streets each day. They have a plan you can't ignore, or else there'll come a tapping, rapping, pounding on your door when your neighbor disappears. When your neighbor disappears. Thank you.
Thank you, John. I love dystopian stuff. So thank you.
As the chilly weather sneaks in between the cracks of our summer days, it's a good idea to get up to date on your vaccine so the winter uptick of odious illnesses doesn't get you under the weather. To help keep you healthy, the Kingston COA is offering a vaccine clinic on Tuesday, September 16th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Protect yourself from shingles, TDAP, pneumonia, flu, COVID-19, and RSV. Call 781-585-0503 to register.
Do you have a song in your heart that wants to be released in front of a welcoming crowd and a good-vibed venue? G-Pub in Plymouth hosts an open mic night every Wednesday from 7 to 10 p.m. in the cozy confines of their underground speakeasy lounge, set up especially for all you talented local folks out there. Whether you are a seasoned performer or new to the stage, the mic is ready and waiting for you. Come to perform or be a supportive audience member and enjoy a full menu of delicious gastropub fare, craft beer, and signature cocktails. There will be specials of all kinds as well. G-Pub is at West Plymouth Square at 101A Carver Road.
Sheila Lynch Bentinen is next, reading her original work at an America's Hometown Laureates Tiny Poetry event.
Next up is Sheila Lynch Bentinen.
Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer, for doing this. And the poster that went with this event was fabulous.
Powderhorn Press.
Powderhorn Press.
Mm-hmm.
And
Highly recommend them.
also, thank you to the Mayflower House and the sponsors. So one day a week, pendulous cherry trees are at their peak. And this one right here is at its peak tonight. So while I was listening to the poets, if you look in the mirror, the cherry tree is in the background, and it's like, wow, it's really wonderful. Thank you. So I write lots of haikus. I had to, when you said 5 minutes, I have lots of haikus. Yes. Bog haiku. A great blue heron glides over cranberry bog. My breath stops to watch. Green haiku. How many shades of green can early spring offer? I hope I never stop counting. This is a published haiku. A murder of crows, an unkindness of ravens, a season of wars. Forgiving haiku. What if all grudges turned into understanding, flew away like wrens? This is a tanka, which I do write tankas. I've never written sijos before, and that was a delight. Where is my home tanka? Travel the whole world, search every ocean and land, climb every mountain, then you will come to realize it was in you all the time. This is another published haiku. My daughter and I compare algorithms on different planets. This haiku I wrote has been stolen all over the internet without any attribution. So if you ever read it, I wrote it. and it was published. Amazonnesia, forgetting what one ordered, doorstep mystery. This is another published one. Statistics show that full moon has sleep disruption. Count me in tonight. Getting older haiku. I watch my skin wrinkle. To dust I shall return. In the meantime, I tango. Lost haiku. Driving in the fog, having a deja vu feeling, past calculus class. Love haiku. If you have to ask if you are truly in love, you are surely not. Postcards tanka. I send bright postcards back to the way my life once was. Long distance postage. So glad you found your true home, having a wonderful time. Praise haiku. I do not need to praise the coming June solstice. Peonies do that. Rhyme haiku. It is fine to rhyme. You would think it was a crime. Poet prison time. Still haiku. Soft spring rain on roof. Frogs peep out their night chorus. Distant wars still on. April hummingbird tanka. I watch movement maps. I wait with sugary hands. Hummingbirds arrive. Small wings beat faster than hearts. They flew right through immigration. COVID haiku. COVID lessons learned. All is interdependent, and I like sweatpants. Birthday Korean, do you say Shijo? Shijo? Shijo. You ask how old I am. Many candles on my birthday cake. I have changed through several lives, like wind and clouds. Do you have a phone? Time to call the firemen for cake inferno. New England spring Shijo. This is the last one. Spring came in like a sullen teenager with acne and braces. Spring left like a prom queen, coral taffeta azaleas, pink peonies, smelling like the perfume counter at Nordstrom's. Thank you.
That was wonderful, Sheila. Thank you.
For the entire month of September, starting on the 9th, every Tuesday and Thursday at the Duxbury Senior Center is an opportunity to embrace all that is good about technology. The free digital literacy program is designed for people who are looking to expand or improve their digital skills. Classes will provide step-by-step instruction that will strengthen your relationship with computers, smartphones, and tablets, giving you the confidence to use them to stay connected to family and friends, access valuable resources, and in general, enhance your daily life. Laptops will be provided for learning, and the digital literacy program is free to the community. Instruction will run from 1 to 2 p.m. For more information, call the Duxbury Senior Center at 781-934-5774.
Set in a suburban Boston town in the 1960s, Christina the Astonishing is a coming-of-age novel centered on Italian heritage, cultural imprint, and the irrepressible desire to explore one's own individual nature. Meet the author on September 18th at 1 p.m. at the Duxbury Senior Center, when author, screenwriter, and actress Marianne Leone will discuss her latest book. Hear about Marianne's inspiration for the unstoppable Christina and the characters that populate her small-town Massachusetts life, from Catholic school to Harvard Square, as you enjoy a delicious luncheon. The author talk is free and lunch is only $15. Register through the Duxbury Senior Center's website. And that, my friends, wraps this episode of The Local Scene this week. Thank you for watching.
If you live or work in Plymouth, Pembroke, Kingston, or Duxbury, and would like to have your own show or podcast, you should. Email community@thelocalscene.media to find out about our free production services and training for community members.
And if you have a story or event you'd like people to know about, email us at story@thelocalscene.media.
We thank our patrons Tiny & Sons, Quintal Brothers, and Squinty's Pizza for supporting our mission of community in action through media.
The Local Scene this week will be back next week with more of what's good and good to know in our area. Until then, we'll see you on The Local Scene. Hello, friend. If you enjoyed this video, please think about scanning the QR code and making a contribution to The Local Scene. Every dollar is appreciated, and your support helps keep community media alive and our resources free to the community. We'll see you on The Local Scene.